45, 47.
Okay, give me 1 second. I had to pay him.
Peas and what? What's peas and
Q's.
Q's? P's and Q's and T's. Okay, we good.
Gotta make sure you stay on.
What?
I stay in your P's and Q's.
Stay on
your
What do
P's
T
and
stand
Q's.
for?
Wait, what's the T?
Stay on
Got your
camera.
cross your T's, dot your I's.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, we ready? Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of The Sunflower Hour. It is your girl Britt,
And your co-host Star.
and today with season 2 we have who we have
Church.
and
And you got your boy DJ Ash.
Okay. So today, first, I'm going to talk about their event. They're having the Garden Hour at Forsyth Park on August 23rd. So let's get into it. Why the Garden Hour? Like, what was it about that name? What does it stand for?
You want to go? You want me to go?
Go ahead, man.
All right. So, first thing that I want to say is, it's really like a docu-series, like a documentary film that's open to the public, right? We trying to check the temperature of the public, really, to see if these type of vibes, these type of atmosphere is something that we want to see more of in Savannah. And as far as the Garden Hour name and how that came about, I called DJ Ash and Jake, and I was like, man, I want to do something. You know, I think we've been all kind of like talking for a while about doing something outdoors with music, with the vibes that we feel like we need in the city more so, that don't necessarily have the venues for it and don't have anything for the youth. Like when I went to the Sunflower Hour, had an event at what was the restaurant?
Simple Soul.
Simple Soul, and I saw the age bracket out there was from like 15 to like 30 something.
Yeah.
Something. But it was the youth though, you know, and once upon a time in Savannah, we had a whole bunch of teen clubs. We had venues and things for the youth. It's nothing for the youth to do. So the Garden Hour came about when we thought about names of what we would call it. And we all love Golden Hour, the Golden Hour when the sun is starting to set. And that's pretty much how we got into it. The Garden Hour, a time to grow, is the motto behind it.
Yeah, we really wanted to make sure we had something that was much more community-based, something that everyone would be able to feel like they're a part of, you know what I mean? And working with the Garden of Good News, it only made more sense to just make it like the Garden Hour, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's going to be like 4 hours long, you know? Like, it's like, makes me think back to like college when it was like Common Hour, you know what I'm saying? Where like we all come together and we all do our thing, or we all talk about whatever we're talking about and stuff. So we're just flipping that, you know what I'm saying, and making it the Garden Hour.
Right.
Yeah, so it's so you're filming a documentary during the party?
Yeah.
So, you know, the way that it's going to be set up is like, it's going to be loud enough. The music could be loud enough for you to really vibe. It's all going to be on the ground, right? You know, people can stand if you want to. Ain't nobody putting you in duress. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be a super big blanket, though. A whole bunch of 80 by 80 blankets that stretch 30 so odd yards with like games and stuff for people to play, some paint, canvas. We gonna have E Skeezy there with the canvases or whatnot, the paint. He's gonna be painting something that people can kind of paint around the theme of the garden theme. Just games you can bring your own food and drink or whatever like that, you know, and just vibe and just sit down. The DJ set up and the musicians that's gonna be there, they all gonna be sitting down, but they're not gonna be facing the crowd, like, you know, all in your face. They're gonna be facing the camera and recording the entire sequence of the event. As far as the docu-style type of things, we're gonna pass out like survey cards or whatnot, and anybody interested to kind of chime in on some of the topics, they can. And we'll have like little sidebar interviews in between it. and have other things that we're shooting right now around it to kind of like get the idea out, get the conversation started with getting more active and getting a little more close to love. Because if I had to explain like in math, you have a number line and in the middle is 0. If love is at the center of 0, I feel like culturally speaking in Savannah, we far right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We shoot 'em up, bang bang music, hoochified music, coochified.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which has its place, and no shade, but I don't think that's gonna be supported by the city at all.
Right.
They're scared of us,
Yes.
rightfully so. All of those teen clubs and those youth venues that I was talking about, they end up getting shot up. You know what I'm saying? Things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and so the city don't necessarily support rap the way that Savannah used to rap, or like this Island Breeze supports it. They might be the only venue that support it. So it's just a gap
Yeah. I can see
in the
that.
community. And the Sunflower Hour, when y'all had that event, it just brought back a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Back in those times. And DJ Ash, I just want to just throw this on. This is like a little sidebar. He's like the man when it comes to engineering and production in the city. Like I'm gonna just say that, and I say that to make this point, right? A lot of artists that wants to sound good, sound quality, like put themselves out. Like when I started checking out what he was doing, I met him through Jacob Evans. Shout out to Jacob.
Shout out Jacob.
When I started to see how he navigates the board and how he did what he did and how I sound when I was recording with him and how I heard other people's stuff sound with him, I automatically looked at him like, this is an asset to our community, right? So when anybody that come through these paths in Savannah, they don't sound like janky. And you know what I'm saying? Like you just could tell when somebody sound like, okay, they working on it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the different artists that's coming through Euphoria Studios and working with DJ Ash and the things that some of the genres that we kind of dwell in and delve in is kind of like there's no real space for gospel or soul or R&B or Afro beats or reggae. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that when I would record with him, this kind of all of this stuff is playing is brewing in the crock pot of how we got to the Garden Hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, man, like you cooking up this dope music with artists, where they gonna go? So that play a role in it too. For us getting to this point eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I really like that, especially the whole focusing on something other than bang bang hoochie coochie yada yada. Cause I get that. I had someone tell me when I first got to Savannah, they were like, "You too nice for Savannah. You need to be mean." I was like, "Mean? You can't be nice." Like, no, you gotta thug it out. You like Savannah. You can be nice in Savannah.
Right.
You can say hi to your neighbor. Dang.
Right.
So, what kind of music are y'all planning to play? Cause I'm curious. What's the vibe like?
I'm gonna let DJ Ash get on. I'm gonna let him get on that.
What's the mix?
We're gonna do a little bit of everything. So I think we're gonna be more in the vibe of like starting it out chill, you know what I'm saying? A little more familial vibes, you know what I'm saying? Something that the kids can rock to, but also like the adults and the growner adults can like vibe to and everything. Chutch is gonna kick it off with his set and everything. And this man Chutch, we spinning all kinds of 90s, 80s, 70s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s classics, you know what I'm saying? So he throws a nice healthy blend of everything in there. And then we have Jake following it up. Jake always comes with this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blend of just magic. It's absolute magic. I love him and I love everything that he does.
Okay.
Then after that we have Calvin J. Ford. He's a gospel artist here in Savannah. I've been recording him for a while. That man is absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
If you don't know about Calvin J. Ford, go check out Calvin J. Ford.
Check him out.
I record all his music and I mix all his music along with our other guy Harold. Shout out to him. And we also have King Cooley coming through. we're super excited about her. King Cooley is a nice. A lot of people in our circle in Savannah don't really know about her. I feel, and so shout out to Jay for bringing King Cooley into the mix. She's gonna come with like a nice rap, a little bit of maybe some Afro beats, but more on the rap side of everything. And then me, I've been getting super deep into disco. So like I've been like watching disco documentaries for like the past like 2.5 weeks, and so I've been I've been organizing a crate of disco tracks and Afro funk and other things like that. Because typically I'm an Afro beats DJ. That's my forte. That's where I like to typically stay when I do my residencies and when I make my mixes. It's usually Afro beats, a piano or like 3-step. But for this one I want to try to go somewhere completely different. Try to take it into like a little more of a disco vibe, Afro funk vibe. Play a little Fela Kuti in the mix. You know what I'm saying?
Say la.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I like to see it, and I'm so rude, y'all. We got Jalen right here with commentary. Jalen, say hi to the camera.
Oh. How y'all doing?
Jalen here for commentary. Also, outside opinions, thoughts. What you thought? Do you like this event? What you thinking?
This event sounds very genuine. It sounds like it has some sincerity to add to it. I love to see it. I would love to actually see more of it if it actually was possible for everyone to actually understand where these people are actually trying to come from in a way. It's like a way of a community getting together, like how it once was, and with things going on, especially in today's society and stuff. It really would actually bring some light to a lot of things going on. We got Trump as president again, y'all.
Lord have
That
mercy.
part.
Right.
A lot of things going on in the U.S. Stuff going up. Like, sometimes people feel like they're on the back wall. So I feel like something like this will actually be like just something that will actually help them, be a little bit more instilled in themselves, just be able to have the spirit to actually, endure and actually keep on going and all that. And just to know that the community is also understanding the same thing or going through the same thing, and y'all all are trying to make, a difference in progressing that. I really don't love that, to be honest. I would actually love to see this because in my 20 years of living, I never even seen something like that really, to be honest, too much growing up. So I would definitely love to see it.
Come on through,
I
man.
liked it.
Come on
I
through,
like
man.
to hear it.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Okay, my last question for y'all, and then we're going to go to Star, is why is the garden hour important to y'all? Like,
I'll answer. So the garden hour is like a microcosm of just the way that I think culture needs to lean towards. The bigger markets like Atlanta, Houston, LA, it's so many people, they can do anything. The Savannahs, the Macons, the smaller
The
markets, the Augustus,
Augusta.
the even the Charlestons, like all of those like mid-tier markets. Back in the day, it used to be like the chilling circuit, right? Where artists could go and their voice could get heard. And I'm really leaning on the music part really heavy because the rapper has replaced the pastor. The rapper and the singer, that is the thought leader of the youth. And the youth is the future. So I think the garden hour is a microcosm of what do we want to see. If you hear this music, and I teach middle school film and journalism, anything that's record related, I'm in it. And some of the kids, I asked them to write me their top 10 songs so I can see what they listening to. And it'd be a whole lot of murder, a whole lot of things that produce these single parent homes. Like I want our women to get loved on.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
Heavy on that.
Heavy.
I need them to. I want them to want to. I want them to love back. I want the guys to be more so like trying to provide and protect, and I want music to kind of like push us closer to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know it ain't gonna all be squeaky clean overnight or nothing like that, but I want us to open the door for the conversation to try to see a revolution. I'm one of those revolutionary people. like Bob Marley,
I can tell.
like Fela Kuti. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like James Brown. These are my heroes, you know, and they changed the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And changed music forever. And so I think that's what the Garden Hour represents. It's just shifting culture, and getting us closer to love. We gotta get closer to love, man. So that's my take on it. DJ Ash, what does it mean to you, brother?
To me, the Garden Hour means community. It means finding and having a place where people can all come together in a space that is uplifting, a space that's positive, a space that's also real. Because we're outside, you know what I'm saying? So we're out there in the elements. We're experiencing the humidity of Savannah. We're also experiencing the communal energy of having everybody around you on this huge 30-yard wide blanket, you know? And you got the DJ up front, and you got the bands up front, and you got the artists up front creating and accumulating this vibe along with the people who are around that are also helping the vibe of everything. And so for me, the Garden Hour is about community. It's about how do we see more of what we would like to see in Savannah, but also how do we celebrate what we already have in Savannah? You know what I'm saying? Because like we can try to be pioneers as much as we want, but we have to lead in a specific way. And I think through events like this, I think that's the perfect way to do it.
I love to hear that. It's such a beautiful reason. Y'all touch me. Star, you take it.
But it's not like being united.
Sorry, you
though.
take it? I thought we had a transitioning.
What was the transition?
I forgot what our transition used to be.
We did not have a transition.
But all right. Okay? So I watched your first episode, I think, and I kind of just wanted you to explain in your own words, like what, like if you could like explain it to a person that like never watched it or never heard of it. What's the Garden of News?
Okay, so the Garden of Good News is like I had an epiphany, and this epiphany kind of grew into something over time. Like it was layered. It layered on, like it compounded. Right? But 2022, I was riding in my granddad's old beat up F-150 to my first job within a couple of years. You know, I was doing a lot of like street videography. I forget what run and gun shooting is what they call it, where you had a camera and you getting whatever you can get with whatever artist or whatever going on. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot of that, and it had me in a lot of dark places and spaces. I always wanted to cover the news. I come from a journalistic background. So my mind was always to capture what was going on to change the vision of what I wanted to see. Now, that's always been kind of like the MO. But where I was and what I was shooting, it was like they say, don't stand in the way of the wicked or sit in the seat of the scornful. Because whatever's coming their way and whatever karma or whatever they reaping on the sowing end of what they doing, you're going to kind of get a little remnant of that. So I had to take a hiatus, and I went back to the corporate world. And as I'm driving to this cubicle that I didn't want to drive to, I go into a trance, and I start seeing like flowers and just garden stuff. I've never, first of all, just to give you a little context, right? I never planted anything. I never was in the garden like that. I never was into anything like that, like I am now. Like I'm all about it now. But back in 2022, you know, that wasn't where my head was. That wasn't my headspace. And I had this, I went into this trance, and I seen all these beautiful flowers and all these plants and stuff. And so that was the introduction to what today is the Garden of Good News. I'm like, I flash back out of the dream, and then I hear a strong voice come into my subconscious mind, representing God to me. And God's like, you would have been here if you would have obeyed me, if you would have been disciplined. So that's kind of like the introduction for the discussion. But to fast forward that time to bring it all in together, I went from the cubicle to staying disciplined being instructed to teach, to go in the schools where the kids were. And that brought me some inspiration to get back into journalism and broadcasting. And I went to the state. I met Jacob Evans. I met this guy the same year. I'm telling you, as soon as I gave my life to Christ and I let everything go, I saw Jacob Evans at a Spitfire event. Shout out to Spitfire. They fire.
Oh yeah, that's what Jive's a part of.
Yeah, Jabs is that.
Yeah, shout out to Spitfire. They incredible. They've been doing it for a long time. I meet Jacob Evans there. He's singing this song, that's incredible song, Imaginary You. Fast forward, I go to Calvary Baptist where he's playing. I said, I gotta go to the church he playing to. I want to see what's up with this dude. And it led me into a garage. I meet DJ Ash, Jake Menendez, my other brother that's not here today. Meet him at Calvary, and I start getting back into music because that's where I started at 5 playing the drums. So I know I'm giving you that's a heavy question now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I expect heavy answers.
yeah, so I want to make sure I don't shortchange you. So that kind of opened it up. I go to the school system. I go to the stables, the studio with Jacob. After a while, and I called the room the Garden. I called it the Garden. I had all of my students in their art class. They painted the top of the ceiling with like garden stuff. The couch was all right. You know, I kind of set it up for a podcast at some point, but I was just more so recording my personal journey. And one day I was like, man, this ain't gonna cut it. Like, I was looking at the aesthetic. I had my phone up at the time. I'm like, man, this ain't gonna, I don't know, God. Like this, I feel like it's something more. So I lay down on the couch and I'm looking at the ceiling, and then I just had this dialogue with God, and he like, well, what are you into? I'm like, well, the record, you know, documentaries, broadcasting, journalism, the news, blah 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 blah. He saying, okay. He's saying that what is the garden? A place of abundance, you know. In the Bible, the garden was a place of abundance. Everything you needed was there.
Right.
So he's like, okay, but what else? What else do you do? I'm like, I just told you, you know, I shoot. I want to put, you know, shows and movies, and this was my mindset. I want to document. He's like, and what is that? I was like, the news. Yeah, it's kind of like the news. And what is the gospel? The good news. The gospel is called the good news. And I'm like, now my branding mind kicks in, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when I just went down this rabbit hole. I paper mache'd the walls with newspaper. More garden. I had to get inspiration because, like I said, I never was into the garden and stuff. I traveled to LA, Seattle, Tampa. I'm with the botanical gardens. I'm with all these coffee shops. I love coffee, you know, and that's how the Garden of Good News pretty much came about. From me going into that trance, making a life change for the better, and it ended up giving me this multimedia type of platform. So we have the podcast, we have the newsletter. We're essentially like a CNN type of platform in the making, in the infancy stage, with a little BET in there. You know, BET used to have events.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff for the culture. So that's how I got to this point, and just recording the story so God can get the glory is my MO with that.
That is an amazing answer. You mentioned that you come from a journaling background. Mm-hmm. Can you dive deeper on that?
Well, I went to college for broadcast journalism, broadcast media, and but I didn't want to work for WTOC or WSC. I didn't necessarily want to report what the commercial markets, you know, what they recorded and what they supported. I wanted to get the stories like y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What was the underground, like the things that, because all news don't make the news.
Right.
And news is so impactful in the way that it shapes people that are never around certain types of people. So that was the beginning. I think I was at Savannah High, and you know, you go through the careers or whatever like that. in the career fields, and I was looking through them with the librarian, and then I saw Mass Comm. I'm like, you can speak to the masses. Well, I love music. I like to talk, and I love people. I'm like, this seemed like the move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's how it began. And I went to law school to try to do the media law type of situation, and then I can have the connections and the money, and I can pay. I didn't necessarily see myself on the camera and all the stuff I do now. Like Brittany was saying earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to be on the camera and editing video and doing all that. I never saw myself like that. I saw myself like Ted Turner, Bob Johnson, you know, come on with the suits and all that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I had to work that thing from the inside out. I'm happy my life played out like that with it, and I love it. I literally love it, journalism and getting those stories, because the stories is so important to me, for real.
And what college did you go to?
North Greenville.
North Greenville. Where's that?
University.
Where's that?
It's in a place. It's in Tigerville, South Carolina. I never heard of this school until they was recruiting me for football. Never heard of this school before.
So you played football.
Mm-hmm.
Time.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm just curious because I heard your inspiration, what got you going.
Mm-hmm.
So what inspires you to keep going? Is there an end goal at all?
Well, you know, like I tell my students and anybody else in my purpose, you know, is everybody has a testimony. Everybody has a unique experience. Everybody. And I don't care what you believe. I don't care what you do. What you experience and how you overcome what you experience, that is so valuable. And you have to record that. So somebody can see it, they can be informed, they can be entertained at times, but they can be inspired to live a more fulfilled life, to really understand things that they may not have understood had it not been for you recording your story, whether it be through the music, whether it be through your writing as an author, or whether it be through what you draw, with what you take a picture of, whatever story you paint, however you do it. Like, that's why I love the record. And anybody asks me what I do, I record the records, I play the records, and I teach people how to do the same. And it's so important to get your story out. And I'm trying to get more people to tell their story and record people and get those stories and, like, you know, put it out, spread the good news.
Yeah. I think it's really important to get your story out there.
Yeah.
Coming from a writer's point of view. Type.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to come over to you now. So, all right.
Wait, is there a way I could go to the bathroom?
All right. We'll take a detour.
Thank you.
Or what's it called? What's the name for it?
Commercial break?
Okay.
In the play.
Yeah, in a place. What's it called?
Or intermission.
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 Yeah.
Intermission time.
Time out.
Plays music.
Listen. Well, that body ain't gonna let you. That body gonna come calling you now.
Dun, 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 dun.